What's poppin', fantasy people? It is your boy John with the catch. You already know what time it is, baby. We are here to run another mock draft. This one requested by my boy Noel Chaco. Wanted to see a 8-team league with PPR, or excuse me, half PPR scoring format at pick number 2. Thank you for letting us know what type of mock draft you wanted to see. And please go ahead and let me know in the comments down below what type of mock drafts you guys want to see in the future. What's going to be the most helpful for you in your personal fantasy football league for this coming 2021 fantasy football season. We are super stoked to keep pumping out these mock draft videos for you guys. And if you do find this video at any point helpful and or entertaining, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe for more feature content like this, as it truly does help the channel out. We appreciate all you guys showing love and support. Let's hop right into it, baby. We've got the second overall pick, and you already know who we're targeting, as Run CMC is going to be off the board. Very unlikely that he is not the number 1 overall pick, and we will be targeting Dalvin Cook at the running back position. So I haven't actually really decided what type of strategy I want to roll with for this video. I know I'm going to be obviously taking a running back with that first overall selection, as we do indeed see CMC off the board. We'll go ahead and speed this up by making our selection. But I'd like to kind of just evaluate, each position as this mock draft goes on, and possibly just select the best player available. I will tell you that I've been starting to think more and more about the super stack strategies, where you go out and you pick Aaron Jones, Aaron Rodgers, and Devontae Adams, or Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott, and a CeeDee Lamb, Tom Brady, Mike Evans, and or Chris Godwin, and then whichever running back in Tampa Bay's backfield that you believe in. So just kind of, these super stack offenses are, I'm a big fan of that strategy, and it's something I want to embellish on. So let me know in the comments down below if that's something you guys would like to see, as we see a huge run on running backs here in the first round. As expected, these are essentially your top 6 picks, no matter what, as we now see Saquon Barkley picked with the 7th overall selection, and we will have one more selection to top off this round 1. So we will go ahead and start to see there are a lot of good receivers still available. We've still got Travis Kelce on the board. We know that we're going to get pick 15 and pick 18, so 2 pretty good selections, as we now see Davante Adams to cap off that first round, followed by Austin Eckler in the top of the second round. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm interested to get some perspective on Austin Eckler and what you guys think he's going to do in that Chargers offense this year. That's another team that I have seen people going out and super stacking with, right? A lot of people think that the LA Chargers are going to have an extremely explosive year, and if you get the right pick and you're able to pick Austin Eckler, it is pretty easy to turn around and go out and get a Keenan Allen and a Justin Herbert. So let me know if you guys are a fan of kind of super stacking that LA Chargers team, as we've seen Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce go, Aaron Jones go 12th overall, and then Jonathan Taylor 13th overall, and Antonio Gibson. So we do have Stephon Diggs still available, as well as Najee Harris, and I'm going to go ahead and snag Stephon Diggs, get a sure number 1 receiver, and that might be the strategy that I kind of follow here, that RB wide receiver, kind of bounce back whoever's available at each position, as we see Najee Harris and AJ Brown off the board. So right now we've got Calvin Ridley, we've got D-Hop, we've got Justin Jefferson, as well as Clyde Edwards-Helaire, DK Metcalf, a lot of players that I'm personally really big on, but I'm going to go with Calvin Ridley here. We're going to shore up the receiver position, knowing that we have Dalvin Cook on this team to lead our backfield, to lead our RB position, and I'm happy with the start of this team for a half PPR league. We know we've got Dalvin Cook, who's going to play a role in the receiving game, but definitely primarily in the rushing game, but one of the best running backs in the league, right? And then we've got Stephon Diggs and Calvin Ridley, who we know are going to have massive target hauls, as well as just a massive scoring ability from a half PPR as well as a PPR scoring standpoint. So now we've seen D Hop off the board and Justin Jefferson, who I think present very good value, very similar value to that of a Calvin Ridley. So I'm happy still with that selection of Calvin Ridley, but I think there are some other good receivers obviously available as well as now Joe Mixon, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Darren Waller, the second tight end taken in this draft, are off the board. Things are moving quick in these 8-man leagues. It's going to be like fireworks going off. It is going to move very quickly as DK Metcalf is picked with the 24th overall selection in the top of this fourth round. We've got the guy I was wanting to target here in David Montgomery. I think he's going to have a fantastic year as RB1. You guys have heard me say it over and over again as Allen Robinson and Terry McLaurin are now taken, and we need to start seeing who's available at that running back position. I would say that Chris Carson and J.K. Dobbins are the best two available running backs as Keenan Allen is now taken. But we do have a very good value here in Patty Mahomes as we're approaching our 31st overall pick. But I can tell you that I want a couple of good running backs and that I will be kind of targeting those players as now Patty Mahomes has been selected. So tell me, I'm definitely looking at Josh Jacobs here, and I don't think it's a bit of a reach, right? But that's kind of someone who I'm going to be targeting with that 34th overall pick. And also tell me here, would you pick a Chris Carson or would you pick a J.K. Dobbins? And I like both of them, but I'm going to roll with Chris Carson. I'm still a little leery on J.K. Dobbins because I just think that there's so much competition, for touches. Whether, even if he gets, a good number of touches, we know that Lamar Jackson is going to eat into those touches as well as Gus Edwards. So tell me if you hate this, but I'm going to reach for Josh Jacobs here. Let me know in the comments down below because I'm honestly higher on Josh Jacobs than I am on a J.K. Dobbins, on a Darrell Henderson, and a Miles Sanders. And I like all their value here, but I just all the sleeping on Josh Jacobs, I just don't necessarily get it. And I want him on my team, and I will say this over and over again. As much as the rankings do factor in who you select in your fantasy football draft, the other thing that is very important are your own personal evaluations as well as your gut feeling. So if there is a player that you want on your roster and you think it's the opportunity to go get him, then go get him. A lot of people might say that you're reaching, but hey, follow your gut and it won't go wrong in the end, at least in my opinion. So in the fifth round, we have seen George Kittle go, the third tight end in this fantasy football draft. Mock fantasy football draft. Now we see J.K. Dobbins, Mike Evans, Cooper Kupp, and Josh Allen after my selection of Josh Jacobs. So a lot of good talent going off the board very quickly. And I can tell you that I am actually thinking of a tight end here. But I would like to go out and get another receiver like a Julio Jones, like a Tyler Lockett, and keep building that RB wide receiver strategy. But I don't think it's going to hurt to necessarily throw a tight end in somewhere there as we see TJ Hawkinson off the board now. So we will just kind of keep evaluating the talent available. We do have a lot of receivers I like. I think there's a bit of a drop-off after Adam Thielen and Deontay Johnson, so we do want to kind of be evaluating that. But there's some pretty decent running backs still left. I do like the value of Miles Sanders at this point. I think if you have 2 to 3 running backs you're very comfortable with, then Miles Sanders begins to present some pretty good value. But a lot of buzz around that backfield in Philadelphia. Not everyone is completely sold that Miles Sanders will be the RB1. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about that situation. But he is the top player available. But I can tell you that I'm definitely eyeing Julio Jones here as we now see Mark Andrews off the board. That is going to allow me to back off a little bit from the tight end position as we also we did see TJ Hawkinson get selected as well. I don't want to hate on Kyle Pitts by any means whatsoever, but I am just not someone who drafts rookies. I just never have been. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to check out who Chet's got on his team. He has got A.J. Brown and Chris Godwin. So he only has two receivers, but luckily in our favor, one of them is on the Tennessee Titans. So I'm going to go ahead and roll with Miles Sanders, and I'm going to hope that he does not want to stack two receivers of the same team. And I'm going to hope that Julio falls to me as Chet goes out and picks Dak Prescott, and we will see who he selects. Still a lot of good receivers, Amari Cooper and Tyler Lockett as well. So I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to shore up the receiver position. We're going to be fortunate enough to draft Julio Jones. Let me know in the comments down below how you guys do feel on Julio's fantasy output this year. I am curious to see. We now have the opportunity to select an Amari Cooper or a Tyler Lockett. I think these three receivers have very similar values, kind of playing that strong receiver two on their respective teams. I'm going to stick with our guy in Julio Jones, and I am liking this team so far. Like I said, receiver RB bounce back. Just looking at uh, you know both the running back and the receiver position and seeing who is presenting the best value at our current selection through each round, and really just stacking up out on depth. So I'm happy. We got Stephon Diggs, Calvin Ridley, Dalvin Cook, Chris Carson, Josh Jacobs, Miles Sanders, and Julio Jones. A very good start to this draft, in my opinion, and we will kind of now start to evaluate some of the quarterbacks available as well as some of the tight ends available, and we will keep on rolling. At this point, I would be comfortable, within this strategy, going out and getting a quarterback that we're confident in, and then maybe a tight end as well, as we now see Aaron Rodgers off the board. I am a huge fan of Robert Tonyan, and I do like the value of Logan Thomas here. I think that we might be fortunate enough to see one of them slide out, and if we don't, Mike Gesicki will still be available, as well as those sneaky Patriots tight ends. So we will keep evaluating things, as in this 8th round, we have now seen Aaron Rodgers off the board, Mike Davis, followed by Dallas Goedert. So we are seeing some quarterbacks as well as tight ends. I do like the value of Russell Wilson here a lot. This is someone who I haven't really gone out and gotten in any of the mock drafts I've done, but I do think that Russell Wilson presents a great value this year, and Justin Herbert also available here. So we will go ahead and quickly check the receivers. Tyler Lockett still available, and I don't personally think I can pass up on that talent. A couple of running backs that I do like here: Kareem Hunt, Damian Harris. I am really interested to get some feedback on Kareem Hunt. I know that it's kind of a name that people are bouncing back and forth on, and I am interested to see where you guys are kind of, evaluating Kareem Hunt in your respective fantasy league. So I'm going to go ahead and take Tyler Lockett, someone who I talked about with my last selection, and I just don't think I can pass up on what we know Tyler Lockett can do. So a really good addition to a very strong roster already. And like I said, we are kind of bouncing back between the receiver and running back position, and if a top talent presents itself, then just go ahead and take it right within the strategy. But we are going to go ahead. I mean, I like the value of Damian Harris here, but I'm going to go ahead and shore up the QB position so we don't have to think about it again. I'm going to take Russell Wilson, and we will keep moving right along. So at this point, I do want to go ahead and start throwing a couple players around onto this queue here. So we'll throw on Tom Brady, Jalen Hurts, Ryan Tannehill. Just kind of keep an eye on any quarterbacks to see if we do want to add a second quarterback to this roster down the road. I can tell you that Deontay Johnson is someone I want on my board, as well as Robbie Anderson. And I'm going to add Jerry Jeudy, and then I'm going to go all the way down here and add Mike Williams, as we do see Ronald Jones the second off the board, someone who I was just getting ready to add to my draft queue, but we still got Kareem Hunt, Damian Harris, a couple good running backs that, at this point in the draft, I think present some value. Kenyon Drake would be an interesting selection on a team that already has Josh Jacobs because, if there isn't any type of competition similar to that of a Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb type backfield that we've seen out of the Cleveland Browns, then we know that we're going to have the advantage of having both players on our roster. But I do believe in what Josh Jacobs is going to do in that offense this year. You did see me reach for him. Let me know if you guys think this running back depth is a little, not to your liking. As we have one of the best backs in the league, obviously, but then followed by Chris Carson, Josh Jacobs, and Miles Sanders. And don't forget that I could have selected J.K. Dobbins around that time period as well. So let me know in the comments down below. Any critiques are always appreciated. While you're down there, smash that like button, subscribe for more future content like this. We really do appreciate that. Really, really, truly does help out the channel, as we've now seen Michael Gallup getting picked in the 10th round. I think that's someone who's starting to creep up on a lot of draft boards. And I think for good reason. I think Michael Gallup in a contract year is going to perform very, very well. As we also saw Michael Thomas taken here in the 10th round. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to select James Robinson here, someone who I think can have a very productive year, whether he's the RB1 or RB2 in that offense. And then I'm going to go ahead and shore up the tight end position with that of Robert Tonyan, someone who, if he even has half the year he had last year, he is going to be a very overall productive tight end. So my top target now is going to be Jerry Jeudy, someone who I'm very high on personally and a receiver who I think presents great value at this point in the draft. But we do want to keep evaluating that running back position, and we do want to see if there's anyone we can get who is possibly going to be an RB1, as we now see James Conner on the COVID-19 list, but he should be fine by the time the regular season starts. Let me know also in the comments down below how you guys are evaluating that Arizona Cardinals running back room. If you guys are high on Chase Edmonds, if you guys are high on James Conner, if you're staying away from both of them, if you guys think that Kyler Murray is going to eat into those touches similar to that of a Lamar Jackson, too much for you guys to want to draft any running backs in that backfield, let me know in the comments down below, because I definitely am interested, as we still see Jalen Hurts available, someone who I'd love to pair with a Russell Wilson. And kind of, will be allow you to, fill out or kind of feel out how that Eagles offense is going to come out and perform. But many believe that Jalen Hurts is going to come out and have an absolutely lights out year. Co-host Steven mentioned in our NFC East podcast that he believes Jalen Hurts has, I just saw Jerry Jeudy go off the board and got very sad inside, but he believes that Jalen Hurts has an opportunity to come out and be the fantasy MVP of the year. So let me know also, you guys are evaluating Jalen Hurts as the season moves closer and closer. So yeah, definitely sad to see my guy Jerry Jeudy taken there. I want to go ahead and scoot my face over. And we will see. It's going to be a better idea. I've only got 2 more spots to fill. So I would kind of like to take a QB here, but we did just see Jalen Hurts off the board. So I may, it is my turn to draft. That would be good to know. I'm going to go out. I do like the value of Michael Carter here a lot. Someone who can be an RB1, where there's a little bit more of a question mark around Melvin Gordon as well as Leonard Fournette. I really like the value of Antonio Brown here as well. And I do like Kenyon Drake. But I would say that Antonio Brown is probably my top target alongside Ryan Tannehill here, as I would like to secure a QB2, but hey, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to have, AB just got taken. So part of me really wants to take Leonard Fournette and go out and get one more running back, but I think the most safe pick here is Ryan Tannehill to kind of complete this roster. Overall, I may go ahead and forfeit a kicker and see if Mike Gesicki falls to us. I also like that selection as well. And then we're just kind of go out and get whatever defense presents itself to us. So while we're waiting on the defense and kicker aspect of this draft to kind of play out, we'll go ahead and we'll break down this team. So at the quarterback position, we went out and we got Russell Wilson, someone who I do think is going to have a fantastic fantasy year, as he typically does. But kind of that one concern with Russell Wilson is he always seems to have those games, 2 or 3 of them spread out through the year, where he only puts up like 9 points. Or kind of the inconsistency we saw last year as he came out and he had an incredible first half of the season from a fantasy perspective, and then throughout the second half of the season completely fell off the map. So I was happy to go ahead and get a second quarterback, someone who I think is going to have a fantastic year, in that of Ryan Tannehill. At the receiver position, we're absolutely freaking loaded. We got Stephon Diggs, followed by Calvin Ridley, and then we do have Julio Jones and Tyler Lockett. So only 4 receivers on this team, but I'm very, very confident in those 4 receivers, especially with 2 of them being on the bench as well. So at the running back position, we've got Dalvin Cook, who obviously is kind of leading this running back, room in terms of our roster. But outside that, we do have Chris Carson, Josh Jacobs, Miles Sanders, James Robinson, and Michael Carter. So a little bit of question marks on the bench there. Some people might not be as high on Josh Jacobs as me. Miles Sanders, someone who I'm not completely sold on, but I think we got him for the right price. And then James Robinson, Michael Carter might not be the RB1s in their on their respective teams, but definitely have the opportunity to. So my opinion, they are worth that draft selection. And then we have Robert Tonyan of the Green Bay Packers at our tight end position, someone who I'm very confident in personally. And then we will go ahead and check. It looks like Mike Gesicki did get picked. He is someone who, if this was my real draft, I would consider forfeiting a kicker for and going out and getting that extra player. And since Mike Williams is available here, I'm going to go ahead and forfeit my kicker and pick up Mike Williams. And now we will go ahead and target the Denver Broncos defense, the LA Chargers defense, Indianapolis Colts defense, Miami Dolphins defense. I think they're all going to have good years. I'm just going to go ahead and pick Miami for the sake of this draft. So just to cap it off, here's the team that we ended up with. No kicker, but we do have the Miami Dolphins defense. So an absolute blast as always to conduct this mock draft for each and every one of you. Thank you, Noel Chaco. Shout out to you for leaving a comment down below and letting us know what type of draft would help you personally and your fantasy football season for the upcoming 2021 football season. We are super pumped. It is right around the corner as each day goes by in August. The NFL regular season is closer. We could not be more excited here at The Catch. If you did find this enjoyable and or helpful in any way whatsoever, please go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe for more future content like this, as it truly really does help out the channel, and leave a comment down below with what you thought of this draft as well as what type of draft you would like to see in the future. I thank you so very much for watching, and remember, you saw it here on The Catch.